Hello, Virgo. It's Rebecca Empathic Crow. I had started out with mid-month readings, but I'm getting started a little bit earlier this month. So we'll go ahead and look at the energy for August 2025. Now, with that, just understand that any reading, if you see it, you view it, and it resonates, then it's timeless. It doesn't mean that it has to be a specific time period, but this is when I'm putting these out. I always forget to say, please like, share, and subscribe if I am somebody that you feel drawn to, you connect with, the messages are hitting for you, whatever it is. I have various readers that I love to watch, and it always helps to have that subscription button on so that I can see the new videos that they put out. And I appreciate any interaction. I put these messages out not for the likes and things. It is nice to see the likes. It's wonderful to get the comments, to be able to connect with people. But my main goal is that if there's a message that you need to hear, you get it. So I'm going to try to keep these shorter than what I have, and I'll save the Empathic Crow updates for other videos. Excuse me. So again, we are going to focus on the energy for August 2025. Remember that the Lionsgate portal is coming up. We are in Leo season right now. The Reiki video that I did put out, I'm about to send out for the Empathic Crow subscribers, is focused on building that confidence. In order to manifest, you have to believe that you can get what you want. God, angels, guides, and ancestors, what is the message for Virgo? I'm going to ground myself real quick because it feels like the energy is kind of right now. All right, so we are starting out with the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane, and then I have multiple other decks over here that we will just see how it goes. All right. Goodness gracious, we got two cards coming out of the gate. What does Virgo need to focus on for this month? 100% what I just said. So we've got the Queen of Wands, and I always say that the Queen of Wands is kind of my ultimate confidence card. She is in her element. She does not worry about the judgments, which is the other card, of other people. And that's exactly what that Reiki video is about. That's exactly what I was just talking about. That this is a time for you to be able to take in that Leo, that lion confidence, focus on the sun, the new beginnings, that solar plexus chakra, being able to let go of anxiety, let go of judgments. That can be judgments of yourself, judgments from or of others, and really recognize that you get to create this new beginning. It's all about you. It's all about your perception. So with this judgment card, notice that these birds, we see the skeletons of them. So understanding that just like the energy of the death card, this is releasing things that are not serving you, releasing past hurts, releasing that sadness, that grief, that anxiety that you've carried from the things that have happened. Understanding that while they were difficult experiences to go through and they may still hurt, they do not define who you are. I also am looking at these rocks down here, and part of this is bringing in balance, understanding that it's not a tit for tat. It's not revenge. It's not getting back at them. Karma is going to come, good or bad, to anyone for whatever they do. And if you try to get back at someone, you're creating more of your own karma. So just focus on you, focus on your growth, and focus on rising above. I'm also seeing in this Queen of Wands card, the crow skull here at the bottom. So again, in order to gain that confidence, in order to make that move into a new beginning, into creating the life that you want, you have to let go of some of those things that are holding you back right now. Anything else coming out from the tarot cards for Virgo? How can they focus on moving forward? Yeah, the devil just flipped over. So with this devil card, we see there's this eastern bluebird that is caught in the chain. He's flying backwards against it, which is actually keeping him trapped more. If he would just calm down, focus on the situation, assess what he needs to do, he would be able to slip out of that chain with no problem. And so with that, this rock that the devil's sitting on, to me, looks very much so like a heart. I know it's kind of an abstract one, 444 on the clock a minute ago. Actually, no, I read that wrong. Maybe you need to pay attention to 444. But to me, it looks kind of like a heart. And so with that, I talk about with this devil card, it's releasing those things that may have been hurtful. They may have broke your heart. It may have been family, friends, a relationship. But at this point, it's about focusing on forgiveness, not for them, but for you, so that you can move forward and feel comfortable. You can move forward and not have those chains, have those weights and things that have held you back because of the things that happened in the past. It's time to let go. This is a new beginning. Like I said, in that Queen of Wands card, we have the sun. So it's focusing on that. This got stuck in my hand, and it makes sense why I mentioned this card when I was doing my Reiki video the other night. So that Reiki video is a free Reiki video monthly for anyone who subscribes to my webpage, and that's empathicpro1111.com. But the strength card, we have the infinity, which also, if you turn it around, is an 8. We are in the Leo season. Lionsgate is coming up on 8/8. And this is just saying to allow yourself to have that quiet strength. You don't have to have a lion's roar. You don't have to try to get revenge on other people. You can just step into this new era of growth and just focus on your goals and building what you want. And that's how you win, if that's the word you need. Anyway, is being able to focus on what it is that you need and continue to do things that elevate you, instead of coming into those negative emotions of the past situations or the things that you fear others will judge you for. You've got to let go of that. So we're going to just stop with that card. Well, I'll do 3 shuffles. And if another card comes out, then we'll take that one. But I feel like it's time to move on to some of the oracle decks, just to get a little bit more clarification, a little bit more advice. All right. So a bunch of cards fell out right here. So we're only going to take the one that fell out on top, because I feel like that's the important one. Oh, and then the one on the bottom of the deck. So the one on the bottom of the deck is the 4 of Swords. And with this card, it is, again, resting, taking time to yourself, focusing on yourself, not allowing yourself to get caught up in all of this judgment, all the devil energy. You've got to rest. You've got to let go. You've got to work on that self-healing. Sometimes that's going to be, if you want to call it shadow work or trauma work, whatever it is, you have to let go of those judgments, really focus on how you feel, and being able to not just say, I release this, I forgive this, but to feel it in your body, to really embrace it, to really put that as a core belief. I am worthy. I am capable. I did a video recently. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. And that's a Carl Jung quote that I love. And that is what this is about. So really going through the things that have happened and kind of getting in that hermit mode a bit, so that you can come out feeling more cleansed. What happened, happened. We can't change it, but not letting it hold you back. Look at this. The cards, spirit, everything's coming through with that Leo energy. And then what you get is the Ace of Cups, the balanced emotions, you being able to fully feel as if you are authentically yourself, letting go of those judgments. It's the glow up where you get to see that you can control your emotions, and being able to control your emotions and respond to things with this quiet strength means that you will be able to move through things. And sometimes they're not going to hurt you as much because you're not as worried about it. All right, let's go ahead and go into the Urban Crow deck by MJ Cullinane. Just to get a little bit more on that. But yeah, I feel like it's being able to release some of those things. So like I said, it doesn't hold you back from what you want, because you have the power to create a life that you want. It's just they're acknowledging that there are going to be things that are going to happen and you can't control it. And if you try to control it, then that's when we get into that devil energy. And that's when we also start feeling the weight of all these judgments. And as I said, some of them aren't even things that other people are saying. Sometimes it's judgment from yourself, or even the expectation of judgment. I always say this, and I'm going to continue to say this, as long as you aren't hurting yourself, anyone else, or doing something criminal, just be yourself, whatever that is. Allow yourself to say, what is it that I want? All right, so from this deck, Spirit, what do we need to know to just really flesh out this message a little bit? Oh, looks like I've got a card in reverse here, which is not how I usually do them. So that's why I pulled it over, and it is 39, which breaks down to an 11, which is a master number, and it is release. So that is the card that we needed from this deck for sure. Release, being able to release the things that are putting you in this devil energy, being able to release the things that are creating all these judgments or fear of judgment, perception of judgment, resting so that you can really come out on top in this strength aspect. And as the Queen of Wands, whether you're male or female, Queen of Wands, that energy is just that you are authentically yourself. You are not focused on what you feel like is going on from the past. Let's do an inner child oracle card. Here we go. And that's by Amanda Lynn Aisling. I feel like some of this, I talked about the shadow work, the trauma work, is really focusing on some of that inner child aspect, because there's something that needs to be healed. And that's for most of us. If there is anyone who has come through their life without having some difficulties, I don't know these people. Then again, I work with a lot of people who have experienced significant trauma, anxiety, depression, grief, all of those things. And grief is something we all experience. Anxiety and depression are too. It's just sometimes it can be situational. But yeah, if you come through life completely unscathed, awesome, good for you. But I don't honestly know many people that that's true for. All right, so from the Inner Child Oracle, let's see what we get. I really am loving these cards. This is a newer deck to me, but I've been wanting it for so long. All right, let me go ahead and ask the question. God, angels, guides, and ancestors for Virgo, what inner child aspect do they need to focus on? How do they get out of this devil energy and step into the Queen of Wands? We got stuff wanting to come out, but it's just too many at one time. Just one or two, please. One or two, please. I may have to look at another deck. All right, we're going to take this one because it's trying to... 42, which breaks down to a 6. You deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. Notice all the imagery of spring that is in this card. And I talked about the flowers in here, and even the sun and the sunflowers in here, the new beginning. So there, you can change all of these things. You can release it. Look at the difference between the release card and then this card right here. There's so much beauty. And actually all of your cards go from like light to dark, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. So it's going to feel like a roller coaster sometimes, Virgo, but you already know that. But it's being able to understand that you deserve to be seen. And that's where I'm talking about letting go of these judgments. It doesn't matter what other people think about you, what you say, what you do, as long as you're not intentionally trying to hurt other people, hurt yourself, all those things. You deserve to be seen and let yourself be known. So the thing is to feel confident even in speaking your truth, understanding that other people may not be in alignment with that, but that's okay. I also just saw the rainbow at the bottom of this card. And that rainbow brings in a new beginning and hope. But also when I think of a rainbow, I think of like just being colorful, just being out there, shining. There's light. I've never said this before. There's, with the spectrum of colors, there's some light that's not visible to the eye. So the rainbow actually has, as I understand, more colors in it. So there are things and aspects of yourself that may not be seen right now, 1444 on the clock, that you may be hiding. And it's time for you to understand that it's okay that you show those, that you don't have to keep hiding. Let's see. Let's get some secrets from the ancestors. This is Abiola Abram, and she is awesome. Let's see what the ancestors have to say. Virgo, this reading, I know that there are things that are not as pleasant. You know, you've got the Judgment card, the Devil card, and the Four of Swords coming out, but it's all positive. It just is dependent upon your choice. And that's the thing I tell people. Even in personal readings, past and present will be pretty accurate and on point, but that's because it's already happened or it is happening. The future is possibilities and potentials. And even with change, you can want change, you can know things need to change, but until you actually focus on moving forward and making the effort to change, it stays the same. So if you want to get out of this energy of the devil energy, the judgment energy, and step into that Queen of Wands, you just got to put some work in, focus on yourself. And it's not even much you have to do because you already have this amazing personality and aspect to yourself. It's just trusting that you can be that, and that if other people don't like it and they judge you, those aren't your people. 1616 on the clock. Those are not your people. All right, God, angels, ancestors, guides, what in the world can we get from this Secret of the Ancestors deck to just give Virgo their final message here for this reading? Hey, and cutting out some of the stuff in the beginning and trying to make it just more succinct definitely has cut the time down a little bit. How awesome is that? All right, what card? Let me ground real quick. I got so excited for you because I know you can do this. Such good messages coming through. As a Scorpio, I know about shadows and light and the darkness. And sometimes it feels hard to go through it, but we come out on top. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. So there's a 5 because this is the time of change for you, right? And it's the shaman. Trust the path. Trust the path that you're on. Be yourself. Understand that other people are not necessarily going to be in alignment with what it is that you do, what you say, especially if these are people that out of fear of the judgments, you've stayed stuck in this persona that you've projected to them, and you're worried about how they may respond if you release and move forward. Or maybe you're worried about the release, if it's forgiveness or moving through grief. Change, healing, it's hard, but trust the path. Virgo, you've got this. What a wonderful message for you. Again, if you feel in alignment with me and my readings, please like, share, subscribe. The website is www.empathiccrow1111.com. And with that, like I said, I've got the free Reiki video for those who subscribe. I have services. I will be putting up products soon, Reiki infused and high intentioned jewelry, things like that. So 1818 on the clock. And I hope you all have a wonderful August. Take advantage of this sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra healing. You can do this. Remember to use your heart chakra.